I am a highly successful person. I succeed at all things I participate in. I am an everlasting success. I am a mega magnet for success. All of my actions breed successful outcomes. My success is automatic in all I take part in. I am surrounded by successful people and am equally successful. I am eternally prosperous. Prosperity is my eternal birthright. I am prosperous in every area of my life. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am Reverend Sean Robert Grant, coming to you from Heart of Christ Ministry with this amazing product. That is sure to have cash flow coming right into your pockets. It's called Money Consciousness, 12 Principles to Abundant Cash Flow right into your pockets. I'm like, wow, that is actually pretty good. So anyway, I want to thank you for investing in this product and basically allowing yourself to take the next step to becoming richer, more prosperous, more abundant, just really building a consciousness. And it's important that the consciousness is built because that is what will allow the money to flow into your life. And so we've got a great layout for you. And I encourage you to, as you watch this video, pause it, okay, if you need to, and really take some time to dwell on the concepts that are being shared. It's cut into 4 different sections as it relates to money consciousness and cash flow. And that'll be in the form of spiritual, mental, physical, and emotional aspects. And we're going to go through all of those, which there's going to be 3 concepts in each part that's going to help you to really discover the area where true cash flow comes from. Okay. So this is really exciting for me. And I know you're going to get so much out of it. Watch it as many times as you can, because ultimately that's what it comes down to, is really allowing this information to sink down into your subconscious and really get it to the point where it starts to manifest in your behavior and in your feelings and your thoughts. And it will create a monumental difference when you allow that to happen. And so just to show my appreciation for you being here and, more importantly, investing in this product, I want to give you a free gift. So if you go to www.uplifterentertainment.com, you will find a free link to 7 downloadable tracks that are titled Empowered to Succeed. And Empowered to Succeed is basically that song you heard in the intro with me doing the affirmations. That is an MP3 track that is geared with uplifting music. There's some slower music on a couple of the tracks there, but they all possess what we call a solfeggio frequency behind them that allows you to feel the vibration of pure love, pure divine energy, pure consciousness that's going to transform your mind as you listen to it, in addition to the affirmations. So take advantage of this. If you go to uplifterentertainment.com and you scroll down just a little bit, you'll find a link to it. It's an album called Empowered to Succeed. And that is my gift to you. And with that being said, guys, it is time to let that money flow into your pockets. And I am very excited that we have the opportunity to really just take a different look at money, but more importantly, still have the same effect as you prospering beyond anything you could have ever imagined. Because that's what it comes down to. That's my passion. That's my calling. That's my purpose. And I'm happy to bring it to you today in 12 amazing, divinely guided principles. And so The title, you know it, Money Consciousness, 12 Principles to Abundant Cash Flow right into your pocket. So I want to get into this. But before we get into this, I want to let you know that the first thing you got to understand is that money is not just what we see of it physically. It goes so much deeper. It is what I like to call a love current. It is love energy, love in action, love in expression, right? And you'll see later on in this course how love, money, and God all tie in together. Okay, so I'm excited to show you that. But what I want you to do right now is just open your mind and put aside the idea of dollars and yen and pounds and baht and all those currencies, and think about money being a love currency, a dynamic, divine, substantial energy that is present everywhere for you now. That's where I want you to think about. And with that being said, we're going to get into the first principle, right? And we're starting with spiritual. And so let's take a look at this, right? So know without a shadow of a doubt, you are supposed to be rich and prosperous because you are a spiritual being. Spiritual beings naturally possess abundance within. Okay, so when we think about this concept, and when I say naturally possess abundance within, everything in the universe is of a spiritual nature. And what that means is a spiritual nature. When it comes to spirit, it is unlimited, it is limitless, it is infinite in every sense of the word. And that is true about us. We're not just human beings. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. But when we tap into that consciousness, money consciousness, right? Or God consciousness, rather, that allows us to see that our good is truly endless. Okay, so when you understand that, you truly understand who you are and what you are, an authentic, radiant, divine being, an expression of God made in the image and likeness of him, of it, right? That lets you know right away that you are truly and naturally abundant. And we'll get into this later on. There is a natural abundant state that you can tap into that allows you to be a walking cash flow magnet, right? Because that's what we all want. And we all want to be in a space, right? We all want to be in a space to where money is never an issue. In knowing this principle right off the bat, there's a reason I put it first, because it helps us to know where we are already starting. I can tell you the only reason you might be lacking today, in all honesty, is you've been taught to lack. Right? You've been taught to choose and think that there's more than enough. But I'm here to tell you there is an infinite amount of more than enough for everybody to live lavishly, for everybody to be prosperous, and for everybody to experience that cash flow coming in. And it all lies within you. Know that you possess it on the inside, and nothing can ever take this away. It is such an amazing, profound thing when we truly get to the place of understanding that the divine set it up for us to not only prosper, but for us to prosper big. The presence of God, the universe, all that is, whatever you want to call it, it desires to give to us more than we desire to receive. I'm going to say that again. It desires to give to us more than we desire to receive. So that means that the universe, the all that is, God is attempting to give you everything that you desire to live the life that you choose to live, being rich as you want to be right now. You just have to consciously open up to it. And I've used that word conscious a bunch, but consciousness is just your thinking, your feeling, and your behavior. Keep that in mind. This is your starting point. Take a screenshot of this, really allow it to sink in, and know that you are abundant, you are abundant, you are abundant. You have always been abundant. All right. That's number one. Number two, wow. Adopt, Place your faith and conviction in the divine spirit of love, God, the universe. This essence holds the key to a wealthy money consciousness. Okay, so it basically piggybacks on number one. If it sounds like I'm repeating sometimes, it's because that's intentional, because it's important for us to get down where wealth consciousness, where money consciousness, where that God consciousness starts, right? So if we know where it starts, if we can get to the root of it, then it becomes an easier process in creating that experience for ourselves. And I'm telling you guys, it is something that's going to be truly magnificent when you really understand, when you take, right, and you put the source first in your life. This is what place your faith and conviction in the divine spirit of love, God, and the universe, right? When you place all of your energy, all of your faith, when you make the God within you, right, the divine, whoever it is that you serve, right? When you make that essence first, guess what happens? You begin to move towards your natural state of abundance, of ease, of relaxation. If you look around at life and you see how life operates, right? Life operates through pure ease, right? There is nothing that is stopping it from doing what it needs to do, but it does it in an effortless way. And we are meant to prosper and to have cash flow in an effortless way. But the first thing we have to do is adopt and place our faith in that ever-present, universal, loving, wonderful source that is God, that is the divine, that is the all that is. Because once you do that, what happens is all of a sudden your inner life, your consciousness, right, begins to transform itself. And when the consciousness begins to transform itself, guess what unfolds? Everything in life, the outpicturing of life, has to match the consciousness, right? So if you're tapped into the most abundant presence in the universe, the most abundant being that could ever exist, or energy for this case, it has to reflect in your consciousness, right? So what do? Well, you take a big part of the day connecting. And if you're confused as to, well, how do I connect? How do I embody this presence within me? Well, first of all, the great thing is it's already inside you. You are a manifestation of the God presence. The second thing is, if you feel as if it's not something you are in a position to necessarily just get right away, all you have to do is chant Om, right? So AUM represents the full presence and dynamic of the all that is. And if you recite that, you'll begin to see everything on the inside move to that abundant natural state of ease and relaxation. And all it takes is a few minutes each day. You can do more. I usually do it whenever I have time to stop. I'll just say Om, Om, and you just feel into it. And what you see is everything begins to relax. And keep this in mind. We'll touch on it again. Relaxation, ease is the ultimate dynamic state of cash flow. It starts there. The more peace you have, the more tranquility you have, the more abundant you will be. All right. Number 3, moving on. All right, here we go. The universe seeks balance in an incessant, infallible capacity. It restores abundance where it has been missing every moment of eternity, right? So this is a mind-blowing concept if you have the opportunity to really take it in and get the revelation that I'm saying to you, okay? Because here is the nature of the universe. So I want you to envision something for me. 2 scale or 1 scale. And so you ever seen the scale of life where it's got 2 ends, and then when they put weight on one side, the other end starts to lose its balance a bit? That's what life is like. That's what the universe is like. So what happens is, though, Anytime there is an imbalance, the universe immediately, almost even before the act happens physically, through a level of consciousness, it goes to restore the balance, right? So what does this tell me, right? So I'm going to tell you what it tells me. It tells me that every single time I use and circulate an amount of money, the universe is already set up to bring that money back into my life, right? And it shows up either as money itself a lot of times, or it shows up as the energy that I can use to manifest the money that I need. Right? And it becomes the most amazing concept. And it just doesn't work with money. It works in every part of life. Wherever there is balance or imbalance, the universe seeks to create balance. Right? So here's an important point. This is a reason why it's never a good thing to get attached to having money or anything. When we get worried, when we get fearful, when we become negative, that's a form of attachment. And what it does is it throws the universe out of balance, right? So what we have to do is keep our center at all times. And as we keep our center, guess what? That's going to open us up. Right? It's going to open us up to being the absolute best in every sense, in every capacity, right? Because ease, relaxation is the ultimate form or the ultimate conduit for abundance, for cash flow, for prosperity, right? All things good. Once again, life is a perfect depiction of that. The grass is cut down and it grows easily in less than a week. It continues, the universe continues to bring back the balance, right? So the grass can be at the height that it feels is at that perfect balance. And it does that in the lives of each and every one of us, right? It's always seeking balance. It's seeking balance whenever you feel bad, right? You're out of alignment with love. Love is the ultimate balance. So it puts you back into alignment with love. It's know that this is always working as universal law and it's infallible, right? And it's incessant and it's always going to come true for you when you consciously choose to believe and have faith in it. And like I said, it's not just in the case of money. You can use this in every area. Let's say you've come on a dry season and things have not been as you wish them to be. The universe is already working to bring back the balance, which means what? When the tide goes out, it's got to come right back in. When money has gone out and it's been dry, it's got to come back into you, right? So understand law of rhythm, law of flow is working always in your favor in an ultimate state of love. All right. So that wraps up the spiritual concepts. We're going to move into the mental here. Number 4, guys. All right. And so just once again, stop this if you need to and really take a minute to process what is being said, because this is it's not only going to help you, it's going to transform how money shows up in your life. It's going to transform how much money you're able to accept and receive into your life. And it really is going to help you to become a more well-rounded, peaceful, calm individual as you tap into your own divinity. All right. So moving into the mental, meditate on your divine embodiment. I just said that. You are God manifested as human. You possess a great creative power. By sitting still in a calm state, you return to your natural, abundant state of ease, right? So if it sounds redundant, it has to be redundant. Why? Because I know personally, ease is the way to cash flow. Ease is the way to abundance, right? And how do we get to ease? We sit calmly and we meditate on the presence of the divine within us. There is an aspect of each and every person that is God. And the only reason why we hadn't known is because we've been conditioned to not acknowledge the God in us. We've been taught to believe that the God, the universal presence is outside of us, when in actuality, it's emanating as us right here, right now. And all we have to do is tap into it. And when we tap into it, all of a sudden we experience a state of calmness, a state of peace, a state of ease. And I want you to think about something here real fast. When you're in a state of calmness, when you're in a state of ease, right? What are you worried about? What are you stressed about? Nothing, right? So all of a sudden, your channel for abundant flow, abundant cash flow, in this case, to come in is wide open, right? You are your most receptive when you're at peace and at ease. So it should be our highest or one of our highest priorities to relax under any circumstance, under every circumstance, and to be connected to the divine and meditate on it. And you know how you meditate on it? You just focus on your breathing. You go into your breath and then release out. And even if you got to do Om, chant Om again to get started, that will help you to relax. And then you focus on your breathing. And just by focusing on your breathing, you connect to your divinity, right? That part of you that is greater than anything in this world, greater than any difficulty, greater than any lack, greater than any struggle. It is your ultimate, invincible, unstoppable power that you can use to manifest as much cash as you want, but not just that, manifest the life that you desire. All right. Wow. I love it. I love it. Number 5. Okay. Everything in your life is a product of your most deepest thoughts. Oh, I love how these are linking together. Monitor your thoughts in a mindful way. Whatever does not resonate with love, okay, let it go. Refuse to tolerate any negativity. Okay, so this is one of my favorite. Why? Because nothing can enter our lives unless it enters our consciousness. And your consciousness are just that. I put deepest in caps because I want you to know, right? Your deepest thoughts and feelings are what's reflected onto your life. And we'll get into another one here in just a bit, but I just want to convey to you why this is the case. Okay. So we all 7.8, 7.7 billion people in this universe are all connected to one creative divine mind. Okay. It's almost like a huge hologram. And if you know the properties of a hologram, the minor aspects of the hologram are the exact same in the hologram in itself. So the universe is a hologram, which means what? Which means that we are basically operating under the same law. So that means whatever you're thinking and feeling and you're giving emotion to, which can oftentimes be negativity, it's relayed back to the universal mind, and the universal mind depicts it in your reality, right? It depicts it in your reality. So reality is not just happening the way that we think it is, or the way that we have an idea about. It's happening according to our thoughts. So when you know that, all of a sudden you find yourself, you say, okay, if I know this, then all of my thoughts need to be prosperous. All of my thoughts need to be abundant in nature. All of my thoughts need to be peaceful. So guess what? You go back to number 4 and you meditate on the divine essence, on the divine presence, on that love. And guess what that does? It feeds your thoughts, or it feeds you your thoughts, the nature of that essence, which then turns your thoughts into the nature of that essence, which then brings more peace, more ease, more relaxation. And guess what? More cash flow, right? You become more receptive to more money coming into your life because your thoughts are now a product of the universal divine mind, which only knows love, which only knows peace, which only knows happiness, right? It's forever moving in alignment with love. That's why we say whatever does not resonate with love. You got to let it go, right? You got to let it go, and you have to, right? You have to make sure that where you are, okay, where you are is where you'd like to be as it relates to the idea of money. All right. So remember that everything in your product, everything in your life is a product of your most deepest thoughts. Change up those thoughts. Negativity, don't even tolerate it. Let it go. Let it go under every circumstance. Think nothing of it. All right. Here we go. Number 6, guys. Doing great. Here we go. Discard every ounce of worry, stress, and fear that exists in your mind. Each of these are cancerous to your cash flow. There's only room for love, ease, joy, and abundance. Okay, so this goes without saying. I don't have to spend too much time on this, but I will, because these are cancerous. Worry, stress, and fear are completely cancerous to your mind, in the sense that your mind is pure, unbridled power. So it's only going to give you what you give to it, right? So what does that mean? If I'm giving it stress, if I'm giving it worry, if I'm giving it fear, it's going to return that to me in my reality. It's going to give me more of that. That's how the universe works. It picks up what you put down. If I give it joy, if I give it ease, if I give it abundance, abundant thoughts in nature, and a knowing and conviction, it's going to give me that. And it's just that simple. But, okay, anytime you find yourself caught up in worry, stress, or fear, right? All you have to do is step back into gratitude. Step back into being thankful for what it is that you've been given, and understand, okay? Understand that what you feel in here, once again, and what you think up here is going to be reflected. Go all the way back to number 1 and know, once you realize who you are, once you realize you're that divine being, when you're made in the image and likeness of God, guess what? You can never lack. You can never lack for anything. And in never lacking for anything means you're always naturally in abundance, unless you choose to be conscious of fear, worry, and stress. Right. And the number one way to move out of fear, worry, and stress is number 1 and number 4. Meditate on who you are. Meditate on your true essence. Meditate on the divine. And I promise you, all of a sudden you'll begin to see fear, worry, and stress dissipate. And when you can completely wipe those out of your life, your abundance will be of such a high magnitude. It will be infinite, right? And the outpicturing, your cash flow will be incessant. It will be continuous, because nothing is blocking your channel from receiving and from giving and staying in that circulation and that the divine flow of money. Nothing is blocking it. Worry, stress, and fear, they will block your flow and block the thoughts that need to come into your mind that will predicate you being prosperous, predicate you being more abundant and being rich. Okay, so stop at nothing to discard every bit of it. And if it shows up, think about something you can be grateful for. And if it continues to show up, go into meditation and understand meditation will pull you right out of it and put you right into love, ease, joy, abundance, peace, and relaxation. All right. Halfway home, guys. You're doing a great job. Now we're moving into the emotional aspect of an abundant cash flow. And so I just want to let you know, so everything that we've talked about has had absolutely nothing to do with physical money. But see, this is the key here, because if you take care of these other aspects, it's when the financial side, when the physical money begins to show up in your life. So stay with me, right? Number 7, emotional. Always check in with your feelings to ensure that you are in alignment with the divine love, right? Love is the most prosperous force in the universe, right? So Love is the most prosperous force in the universe because God is love. But not only that, the universe works to align itself with love, right? So we see this every single day because every time something potentially bad unfolds, the universe is giving every chance to work itself back into love, whether it's through forgiveness, whether it's through really taking an introspective look on the inside. It's always moving us towards love. And a lot of times, actually all the time, bad stuff happens to show us that we're out of alignment with love. See, there's only really two emotions: in alignment with love, out of alignment with love. You always have to check your feelings. And a great way to do that is just to ask, what am I feeling? Or get even more specific and say, am I feeling in alignment with love? And if I'm feeling in alignment with love, guess what? I'm in the most prosperous state that I can be, because love is just peace, ease, relaxation, and abundance. That's all it is, right? Plain and simple. Am I in alignment with love, or am I out of alignment with love? If I'm out of alignment with love, ask, what is causing me to feel out of alignment with love? And wait for it to come up. And then once it comes up, bang, cut it loose, right? Feel into it, let it go, and then step back into your alignment, right? Because that is what counts. And the longer you stay in alignment with love, the longer you will be able to put yourself into a place of just being able to understand that love is everything for you, right? Love is the most prosperous force that you could ever experience in every sense of the word. Okay. All right, guys, we're going to take a break real quick, just allow you to grab some water, and then we will go from there. All righty. So once again, rehashing this, always check in with your feelings to ensure that you are in alignment with divine love, love being the most prosperous force you could ever experience. Whatever it is, always find a way to get back to love, because here's the thing. If you're always in alignment with love, your prosperity will always be present in the form of energy, in the form of substance, in the form of pure, unbridled, divine substance that can prosper you at any point in time, throughout time, right? So that's what's amazing, is that we keep continuing to cultivate a state of love, and it keeps producing, because that love before time gets to be within our consciousness. All right. So number 8, moving on, guys, doing a fantastic job. Here we go. Source, love, money, all resonate at the same vibrational energy. Life offers us an unconditional amount of love. Love is money. Money is love, which means your money is unconditional. Now, I would encourage you to pause and read this, screenshot it, take it down, because this is something else. This actually was one of the most important things that set me free from any form of lack under any circumstance, because I realized that love, source, and money all resonated at the same vibrational energy, right? And in understanding that, that means you can't have one without the other. It's almost like having a quarter and trying to have the heads without the tails, or the tails without the head. They're both two sides of the same coin. And in understanding that they're both two sides of the same coin, guess what? I knew all along that I had unconditional love. But with that, I had the unconditional divine substance and energy and source of money, as well as that unconditional love, right? And it was all present. But the only thing that stopped me from ever experiencing the money was the conscious belief that the money was lacking, right? And I say conscious, which refers to consciousness. We have to always, right? We have to always know what is brewing within our consciousness. And it's these type of concepts that we begin to embed within the subconscious mind that will make a large, monumental difference in how we approach money and how it manifests into our lives, right? Because as we stated at the very beginning, money is just love in action, love in expression, God in action, God in expression, love current. I like to call it love currency, you can call it, right? It's two sides. It's the other side of the same coin, right? Love is heads, money is tails, or vice versa. You can't lose one, or you can't have one without the other. You got to have both. And there is love present anywhere in your life. And I know there is because, life is love. And if you have life, you have love. Even after life, you still have love. So if love is present, the potential substance and energy of money is present and unconditional, which means every single thing you need and desire to live the life you want is present right now. All right. So that is a great one. Once again, screenshot that, write it down, because this is one of the most important points that can truly change not just your financial situation and bring in more cash flow, but it can transform your life, right? Because now you understand that you don't have to feel weird about money because money is just love. You don't have to feel off put or upset about money in any capacity because money is just love. All right, moving on to number 9, guys. Here we go. Still with the emotional. What does it feel like to have all the money in the universe? Feel into that and let it resonate into your nervous system, okay? This is your truth. Faith and belief activates it. Okay, so we talked about money being an energy, money being a love current. There is no lack of love. As a matter of fact, all of the presence of love, or all of love, is present in the universe completely in an unlimited capacity. So guess what? Just like number 8 said, if all that love is present, the potential for all that money is present. But it's present as energy, and it's present on the inside of you. So technically and specifically, you have all the energy, all the money in the entire universe on the inside of you. Right now, this is not something to where you just get greedy and you say you want to hoard all the money. No, it's you use this gift and this divine treasure to activate whatever it is you need to live your life to the best, right? You definitely tap into it for an abundant flow, cash flow into your life, and you create that consciousness for it. But anytime it ever appears to look like there's something in your life that is lacking, just know you possess all of the money in the universe, and it comes in the form of substance. It comes in the form of energy. It comes in the form of divine resonance that is present once again every single moment of every day in the consciousness of money, in the consciousness of God or love. There can never be any lack, right? Everything is provided. As a matter of fact, I was going to say every need is provided, but there are no needs in this consciousness because everything is overflowing and abundant. And when you tap into that, that becomes your way of thinking, your way of feeling, your way of believing, your way of acting. It has to outpicture into your reality. And that's what we mean by truth, faith, and belief, right? Or faith and belief, how it activates it. You have conviction that all that the Father has is mine, right? All the money in the universe belongs to me. I have it within right now, right now, right now. That's a great thing to repetitively say to yourself. That opens you up to receiving more. Before you know it, it's coming from a multitude of directions because you have established within. And then once you've established it within, it can appear as reality without. All right. Number 10, physical. All right. So this is one of my favorites because this can create a difference if you're in a space maybe you don't have a sort of spiritual life working, and you got to start somewhere. So this could be a great bridge or gateway to watching your life transform from a financial perspective, right? So talk to yourself as if you were the most confident, worthy, dynamic, successful, richest person walking the planet. Feel into it, right? Feel into it. And we talked about that in the previous one. When you feel into this, you're sending an energetic ripple throughout the universe. It's almost like a beacon that sends out a message to every possible channel available, and the universe finds the greatest channel for you and it brings it to you. And all you have to do is just be open and receptive and at ease as it unfolds. But self-talk is so very important because it changes how you feel about yourself, right? Understand, in the universe, everything exists as potential. It doesn't become manifested until it's observed upon, right? So once we observe it, then it becomes something that is visible, that is manifested. But until then, it all exists as potential energy, right? So if I keep telling myself, and I say it in a way where I can feel it, I am so rich, I am so prosperous, I have so much money coming into my life, I'm dynamic, I'm confident, I feel it, I love it, I know it. If I continue to say that over and over, guess what? My subconscious mind is going to receive it, right? And it can't tell the difference of me actually being that or me just thinking that I'm that, right? It's the same to the subconscious mind. But you keep feeding it, it's going to affect your behavior, right? And the reason I put worthy in there, because your self-worth is directly related to the amount of money you can have into your life, right? And isn't it funny how love and money resonate on the same vibration? And when people say that they're not worthy of money, or they feel that, it means that they're not worthy of love, because money ultimately is what allows us to express more of our love towards ourselves and towards others. It's important to build your worth. And if that's standing in the mirror for 5 minutes each day saying, I love you unconditionally, you are amazing, do that, right? Always find a way to raise your self-worth, because your self-worth is gonna amplify your net worth, and it's gonna allow more of a cash flow to come into your life. So talk to yourself all the time. If you don't feel comfortable doing it out in person, do it in the car, do it in the shower, do it in the morning when you're in the bathroom by yourself. But I promise you, it will pay dividends financially and from a life's perspective. Number 11, your energy is a reflection of your cash flow. This is so amazing. Exercise, do energy work, yoga, take walks, or hit the gym. The more you move, the healthier your aura becomes, the greater your cash flow. All right. So when you look at someone's aura, right, and if you have like a gift to where you can see auras, or even if there's like some kind of lighting set up to sort of see what's going on in a person's aura, you can usually tell by looking what type of potential that person has to manifest abundance in every form, not just cash, but in every form, right? So the great thing is, though, even if it's not an aura that's gleaming and full of light, that can change really quickly, right? Because auras are just basically taking on energy from the outside. This is why we have to always check in with our energy, and whether that's the gym, whether that's energy work, whether that's Tai Chi or whatever it is, you always want to ensure that your energy is flowing in a capacity, right, that's going to get you feeling your best. That's always the signal to know, how am I feeling? If I'm not feeling my best, there's something in my aura that's affecting me from being at my optimal state. And if I'm not at my optimal state, that means I'm not manifesting the stuff that I desire in an optimal capacity, right? So I always have to check in with my energy. When you wake up in the morning, sometimes you feel groggy, sometimes you feel stiff. You know what you can do? Go do some energy work. exercise, take a walk, get the blood flowing through your brain, get it so when you take a walk, here's something amazing that happens. You take a walk, the blood begins to flow through your brain, the energy begins to trickle down from the crown of your head all the way through to your toes and outwardly. That's why walking is probably one of the most relaxing things you can do, because the energy starts at the top and makes its way all the way down through every single chakra, leaving you in a peaceful, relaxed state. And we know that peaceful, relaxed state equals what? Equals cash flow, equals abundance, right? So take a walk. Maybe working out is your thing. Maybe going to the gym, maybe yoga. All these things ensure that we have a healthy aura. And if the aura is healthy, the cash flow can be healthy as well. Number 12, your consciousness mirrors your objective reality. Consciousness is how you think, feel, and act. It's as simple as that. It will make you rich or not make you rich. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward, but it's something to understand. How you think, how you feel, ultimately how you act, but mostly how you think and how you feel is going to determine whether cash comes in and flows or cash doesn't. You're stagnant, right? So the great thing is, because consciousness is not just a physical, but also a mental, emotional, spiritual thing, mental being more so, if something stagnant is in your life, it is something related to your consciousness or related to your mind that's causing that stagnation, right? So if there's a lack of cash flow, guess what? There is a thought form you are holding in your consciousness that's causing money to not flow into your pockets or flow into your existence, right? And a lot of times, this is something as easy as focusing more on your debt than the money you actually have and being grateful for that. Energy goes where attention flows. If our attention is on debt, what we don't have, guess what? That's going to be your experience, and it's going to stop the flow, right? But if we take that and shift it to, I'm so grateful for what I have. I feel so amazing. I feel so abundant. There's so much joy. There's so much to be happy about. Money just flows to me freely and effortlessly. And you focus on that, guess what? That attention is going to grow that concept. It's going to grow that concept in your consciousness. And if it's in your consciousness, it's in your life. Now, remember this, okay? This is so very important, because nothing can enter your reality until it enters your consciousness first, right? Nothing can enter your reality until it enters your consciousness first. You are naturally rich, prosperous, abundant, naturally, okay? Excuse me. Naturally, you had to adopt the consciousness of lack in order to experience it in your life. I want to say this one more time. You are naturally rich, prosperous, wealthy, and abundant. You had to adopt the consciousness of lack in order to experience it, if that's, what you're going through. So what does that tell us? That tells us something is impeding our natural state of flow. And what we need to do is find out what it is that's impeding that progress, that's impeding that flow, and remove it out of our consciousness. And once again, the great thing is, it's always, Emmett Fox said so eloquently, there's always a mental equivalent to what's going on in your life. If there's an annoying person, that annoying person is tied to a mental equivalent within yourself. If there is cash flow, abundant cash flow, it's tied to a mental equivalent. Something you're holding in your mind and your consciousness is causing the cash flow to come in. And the exact opposite. So this gets back to you meditating, connecting first, and then allowing whatever it is to come up, whatever thought form it is to come up and release itself. And when you release it, you can see almost instantly how reality changes when that mental equivalent is no longer within your consciousness. Telling you, consciousness mirrors reality. It mirrors your objective reality. And nothing can enter your reality until it enters your consciousness first. So guard your mind in the sense of refuse to allow any negativity, any stress, any worry, any fear. Focus all on love, ease, joy, abundance, and gratitude. And I promise you that will be your objective reality. Guys, that wraps up all 12 principles to abundant cash flow right into your pockets. Wow, that is something truly, truly amazing. And it taught me so much just being able to go through each of them with you. This, like I said, it didn't really touch on the physical aspect of money, so to speak. But guess what? This is what you have to know. Physical money is just a reflection of consciousness. It's just a reflection of everything going on the inside of you, right? And so when all that is in alignment with love, as we talked about, riches can show up, cash flow can show up, and it can show up in a massive capacity, right? So before I go, I want to leave you with a quote that is pretty famous. I mean, pretty popular, so to speak, but it just says, as within, so without, and in parentheses, as in thought, so in manifestation. Okay. And the reason I left this to be last in this course is because your thoughts are your life, right? So if you have something in thought and you're giving it emotion and you're charging it up, and it's becoming a regular occurrence, whatever it is, whether it's of a positive, abundant nature or the opposite, that thought is going to manifest, right? What I'm doing right now, this course had to start as a thought, and then it had enough emotion and feeling to turn into a manifestation the past 50 or so minutes. Right. And that's how everything comes into existence. It begins as a thought first. Remember, it can't be in your reality until it's in your consciousness. This is all it's talking about. As within, so without. As in thought, so in manifestation. Understand everything in the universe works under this principle. So when you know that, you're able to guard your hearts and do as the Bible says, think only on things of good report. Refuse to allow anything into your thoughts, your repetitive thoughts and your deepest thoughts, that is, to show up in your mind. Don't allow it. If it shows up, let it run its course and then release it, and then fixate your attention on what you know to be true. And the truth of it all is that you are rich, you are prosperous, you are abundant. Naturally, as a spiritual being, everything within you, right, speaks volumes of prosperity, speaks volumes, right, of you having an abundant cash flow all of the time, but not just cash flow, resources, right? Endless resources, endless opportunities. And it all starts with that thought. Okay, guys, with that being said, it has been an utmost pleasure to really take the time to do this and show you how to amp up that cash flow into your life. Take every single one of these principles, study them, go over them, watch this a number of times, learn, see what sticks out every single time you watch it, because it's always going to be something new that's going to enable you to move to the next step and to the next step and to the next step. And before you know it, you will see your cash flow transform. And that's what matters. Money is a beautiful thing because money gives us the opportunity to love ourselves more and love our family, our friends, anyone we can help. We become a blessing when money is present, right? So now it's time for you to become that blessing or in some cases, an even bigger blessing. I'm Reverend Sean Robert Grant. Thank you so much for joining me. It has been a pleasure.